Saka Saleh. Good morning to you, Saka.
Good morning.
Great. He's one of the key or integral members of the DMB 2024 It Is Possible campaign of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Speaks for him as well, elevating the conversation. I'm told that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is doing the campaign in a bus.
Yes.
I've seen videos of some of them dropping from the airplane in Takoradi, joining the bus, but I think it depends on their shadows, right?
Oh, I haven't seen that
video. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And then also I have Abraham Amaleba. He's a regular for us on Fridays right here. He's a legal practitioner, looking very trendy. Good morning to you, sir.
Trendy here means what? Good morning to you. I don't know what trendy is, but what I can say is that yesterday, listening to the Public Accounts Committee, I cringed when I heard $11 million was paid to a contractor for the completion of the Palugu multi-purpose dump.
Wow.
Yet, when you go to that place, it is grassland.
$11 million translating the current 140 million Ghana cedis?
And
or even in excess?
In excess. And you wonder why criminals who have taken over the reins of government would do this to Mother Ghana.
What do you mean by criminals?
But why? Aren't you angry that you have a situation, money is paid to a contractor, and you get to the side, there's nothing there. And you say, I shouldn't describe them as
Did you
thieves.
verify your information?
Please, this was Public Accounts Committee. Allow him to make his point.
So I am of the view that as a country, we have not lived up to expectation as a people. When a government gets to a point where it doesn't fear the wrath of the people, this is what happens.
Well, what?
Governments must always be afraid of the people. That's how it's supposed to be all over the world. But when you get to a point where the government does not fear the wrath of the people, you have these things happening. You give $11 million out for final payment, and yet there's a single block laid at the place. I'm worried because that's my home region.
All right.
And I know what that project can do for the people.
And the state currently in which it is.
It is.
Okay. It was supposed to be a preliminary, not less than, just less than a minute, but I'll forgive you. Good morning to you, Laura Jantwa, regular on the show as well. He currently is the chair for the Ghana Energy Awards, works in the extractive industry as a consultant. Ideally, many of them, we should be using him for a lot of consultation, but he's here as well. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm well.
To Ghanaians watching us.
Well, certainly. Now, we'll be discussing the concerns that have been raised not only by the National Democratic Congress in relation to the ongoing registration exercise, but we also found out that a number of issues since Monday had been raised, or Tuesday had been raised. And we're also talking about the slow process in the registration, and then also concerns that have been raised about the kits or the machines that are being used and offline registration, etc. But let me just take you through what we have by way of what the timelines are, and then we'll give you an insight. So the timelines we have is that from May 7 to 27 is when we're going to have the limited registration, and that's supposed to be at the district office as well as other centers that have been mentioned. And then from May 30, we have continuous replacement of ID cards. So it means that if your voter ID card is missing, you can go and have it replaced. Now from that, subsequently up to June 14, that is 2024, you can have transfers and proxy applications taking place. So if you will not be in a position to vote and you want some proxy voting to take place, you are in a position to do that. And from the 1st of July, you make applications for special voting. And special voting is for categories like, if accepted, media, those who will be working on the night, security services, etc. That's the role. Now, let's preface this conversation we're having with General Esiedun Ketia, who currently is the chair of the NDC, raising concerns. And then we'll come back, start the discussion in earnest.
We called for a meeting, IPAC meeting, so we can all discuss and find out. at the meeting, it now turned out that both BVDs and BVR components had been missing. So you see how they kept shifting the goalposts. It was discovered at that meeting where Dr. Manibwama asked the 35 questions that some BVDs were also missing. And then they said that, oh, they were destroyed in some constituencies. They mentioned Takwa and some other places. Then we said, if they were damaged, at least we can, we must show us the debris. Then they turn around now to say that they were not damaged, they were missing. So now, beginning from 5 BVRs, which BVDs, which they denied, it has turned out now that I think 7 BVRs cannot be accounted for, and then two or three or so BVDs can also not be accounted for. So that is the commentary of the honesty or otherwise of your commission.
And subsequently, we also went round, and this is what we found taking place at some of the registration centers.
Thank you.
The Electoral Commission has faced network challenges during the limited voter registration, forcing district officers to switch to offline registration instead of online, resulting in a smoother process. Most centers visited were relatively calm, with the usual chaotic scenes absent. This is a data entry machine, and Collins here mans this very machine, and he tells me that with the offline mode, it's quite smooth compared to the online one, and you can take let's say 15 minutes to attend to an applicant using the offline mode. But with the online, it takes more than 30 to 40 minutes. Left for him, the offline mode should be adopted, but it doesn't lie in his power to call for that, but it should be a policy direction by the Electoral Commission. But political party agents are expressing concern about the potential for multiple registrations.
The offline too has its own challenges, as usual. But we thought maybe going offline, maybe we'll be able to register some people, but the EC, they are going to suffer at the end of the day because some things will be happening, which because of its offline, they will not detect it until fixing their machines for online, and that's why they will detect it. Maybe probably by then some people have already registered and maybe they did the double registration and stuff, so they've already gone.
For the offline mode, well, it's okay once their internet issue.
Saka, so these concerns, what do you make of it?
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, let me take this advantage or this opportunity to say good morning to our various listeners and watchers of TV3. Let me say a very big good morning to our flag bearer, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and the MPP fraternity. First of all, I think that almost all political parties have come out with their more or less grievances as to the registration exercise that is ongoing. The MPP, through Evans Namako, our director of elections, have registered his disquiet about the situation. And the NDC, you know, as usual, they had even started lambasting the Electoral Commission even before the problems ensued. And, you know, and I think that, first of all, if you look at the Electoral Commission and what they are doing, this is a constitutional imperative. It is something, because that is one of their core mandates as Electoral Commission, to ensure that they register electorate for either general election or referenda. And once they are registered, they are not supposed to be disenfranchised. And registration is the beginning. Because when we talk about democracy, there are various organs of democracy or principles that if it is violated, it's democratic tenets of everything. And election is one of them. And election is one of them because, one, that is where the wishes of the people are expressed. And it starts with the registration. And these are people who are first-timers. I mean, people who have never voted before, and this is the first time they are coming to, register and vote. And some of them are going through this frustration. So it is not as if the MPP is okay with whatever that is happening. We are equally, disturbed by these technical hitches and what have you. But I want to say that if you look at the Electoral Commission came out with a statement, to explain the reason for the mishaps and all that, the movement from the online registration to offline registration, and which we all believe is making the process faster. So actually they are learning. And some of these problems are not things that we can say that it is deliberate. But because if you look at the internet connectivity, a problem, it is the Electoral Commission is beyond the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission is not the one to ensure that the connectivity works. But what they can do as a commission is to ensure that they put in place plan B, so that when internet is not working, what else do they have to do? And that is where this offline registration come in handy. And I think that they are equally doing whatever it takes to ensure that the registration is done. Just to make this point, I will always give the Electoral Commission the benefit of the doubt. I will always ensure that once their intention is, once they have good faith to do the right work, I wouldn't just go around lambasting and then throwing all manner of allegations on them. Because I can see that our brothers in the NDC have that penchant or that proclivity to always lambast, to always take the Electoral Commission to the cleaners, even on, most flimsy issues.
Which are the flimsy issues?
Yeah, come on. We have heard of, look at what Asiedu Nketia was talking about. He talks as if the Electoral Commission was doing something untoward, or they are in cahoot with some agency or body to rig the election by so doing, frustrating the system and all that. That cannot be true. I just heard this news of NDC Deputy Secretary and in cahoot with one headmaster.
What is Deputy Secretary?
Yeah, the
Is it for a region?
Impoho
Wasa.
Their Deputy Secretary and one headmaster arrested for registering minors in the ongoing limited registration exercise yesterday, and they will be in court today. So you well, on one hand, you see the NDC saying all manner of things. On the other hand, they are on the ground, ensuring that the Electoral Commission does not do its work well.
Is it not mind-boggling and then also a concern for you as well? When, for example, the first 2 days, for some constituencies, just less than 40 people or sometimes less than 45 people had been registered. For a whole day, especially in the first day, virtually, the Electoral Commission looked unprepared for an election for which it had conducted numerous press conferences. And then also issued numerous press releases that it was ready for.
I don't think...
That is not a concern for you, Saka.
No. I don't think that. We in Ghana, and especially political parties, we are found of exaggerating and trying to create some name for the Electoral Commission, as if if we take the Electoral Commission to the cleaners, it will inure something positive to the political parties. Let me tell you, the Electoral Commission is using 21 days to do the registration.
And so?
Listen, the first day they encountered problems. They have taken a cue from that. And they ensure that going forward, they are going to do the right thing. We all know. I mean, we are human beings.
You and who are human beings?
Listen,
you have an institution that has been given budget.
The
budget has been approved by the Parliament of Ghana. And you are saying that despite the assurances of the Electoral Commission and the faulty mistakes that were identified or are being identified, you are saying that's a good mark?
I am saying those who are even more withdrawing towards the Electoral Commission, that is the NDC, ask them, when they were doing their even internal elections, ask Edu Asare, the one who cried in one of the commissions, Bamape Commission, the 2014 elections. When they went to do their elections at a trade fair, simple even names, write somebody's name, they couldn't write it. Edu Asare was given different name. Somebody's picture was given to him. His picture was given to somebody.
What's your point?
No. The point is that in election, and in some of these cases, there could be problems. There could be mistakes. You understand? But you learn from those mistakes. If you want to say that, because they were given budget, they should play God. That's for them. They are not human beings. Everything must be 100%. And especially when the whole exercise is 21 days. And you are telling us that the first day, because we are happy that this thing started, from the beginning. If it had started or maybe at the end, that's where we would have problem. But even the Electoral Commission itself had come out to say that whatever the problem is, they are going to extend the duration of the registration. All of us. I mean, it is in the best interest of all of us that the Electoral Commission does the registration very well and capture everybody who is qualified to be captured and all that. In that way, everybody will be registered and then have the opportunity to go and vote. But let's not sit here or elsewhere and say that, because they have been given budget, they should not have even 0.0% of failure. If it is so pervasive and persistent, like for 2 weeks, that the Electoral Commission is not getting it right, that one we will all condemn it. But when it is just 1 day or 2 days, I don't think that we should.
So there are key concerns that have been raised in that press statement by the chair for the party. That's Johnson Esiedun Ketia. How does that sync with the reaction of Saka here, for example, who is saying that, look, it's a 21-day exercise, so why don't you give the Electoral Commission benefit of the doubt?
Saka's submission this morning suggests that if political parties get it wrong, the EC should also get it wrong. That's the logic. But I thought that the EC must rise above such petty mistakes. To our conference yesterday, it bordered on trust, confidence, and transparency. These are the 3 things that the press conference brought out yesterday. Now, Roland, if you are a chairman of a political party and you went into an election, your party went into an election, and at the end of the day, the Electoral Commission, who is supposed to be independent, churned out 5 different results. If you are going to the next election, will you sleep or you have one eye open?
How do you mean?
That as we speak today, the EC has given us 5 or 6 different election results of the president in the last elections. This has never happened in any part of the world, only in Ghana. 2, Roland, and it's open knowledge, notoriously known, that the EC as we have today is populated by MPP apparatchiks. We spoke about it here. If you are a chairman of a party, you'll be wary of that electoral commissioner. You see, I prefix my submission with trust, confidence, transparency. And you see that my submissions are supporting any of this. 2 or 3, you have a government whose operatives would mount platform and say, we will not hand over. Worst of it all, the president himself making comments, giving the EC leads that he wants to hand over to his own party. Giving the EC leads. And you know what the president does when independent bodies are, dealing with matters? He throws in some leads. Cecilia Dapa, the president already cleared him long time ago. Today, where is the matter? It has ended.
You mean in relation to the letter that was issued? That when you are cleared?
That's
I know that you come
You'll
out.
be cleared. You'll be, dear, my dear, my dear. There was a loud letter, something, my dear, something. If I were the husband of Cecilia Dapa, I would be offended. Now, worst of it. The EC, since the advent of this democratic dispensation, the Fourth Republic, no pin ever got lost in the EC. We have never heard it. A pin. Because that place is classified as a security zone. I don't know. There are soldiers there.
Yeah, we now have more soldiers and security detail than we have ever had. Even the commissioners are well guided.
Soldiers.
By soldiers, yes.
Soldiers.
That's
soldiers.
True. What has that got to do with anything?
So, kits are missing. BVR kits BVDs are missing. Initially, they denied, and finally, they had to come and agree. What are we asking for? We are saying that give us the serial numbers of the machines you've sent out so that we don't know whether these missing machines have found their way into the hands of scrupulous Ghanaians who may also be sitting in their rooms. While EC is doing this thing, they also be sitting and registering people.
Well, the EC says that why should we give you the serial numbers of BVDs?
That's what I'm saying. It's another layer to ensure that the process is credible. Another layer. Because we have never asked for the serial numbers of BVDs. Roland, we've never asked. But this time, something happened. Machines got missing. And you think that as a political party, we should just fold our arms and leave it? I am saying that probably somebody too is sitting in his house using the machines and registering people. Why? In the last elections, and I'll come to this, in the last registration, and I'll come to this registration, a machine that was meant for northern region found its way in Savannah. You know that. As we speak today, machines meant for eastern region have been found in, my information is that they have been found in Akontombra. Another one from eastern region has found its way in to Ewutu Senya. And you think that as a responsible party, we should just allow this to go without insisting that the right thing should be done. And so the press conference yesterday was very clear. Let us have the biometric, let us have the serial numbers of machines being used so that if the final register comes, and we see names on biometric machines which are not part of the serial numbers, we know that these are the stolen ones that people start somewhere and will register people. Because when you register people, the EC itself cannot cancel their names, so you know that, cannot expunge their names. You must go to court and have the names expunged. And EC has never gone to court to do that. So once the names enter into the register, voila, it's complete. And so as a responsible party, we will not sit down and allow this to happen. The EC's response, the warped response they gave, and my chairman dealt with it yesterday, when they said that when you give out the biometric serial numbers, then you compromise the system.
That's what the EC says, yes.
How about those that were stolen? They don't have biometric. And then when the thieves entered the room, and that's what my chairman was saying, and I agree with him, when the thieves entered to steal the biometric, didn't they take some numbers of other biometric serial numbers. So what's the EC talking about? But you see, I can announce to you and to the whole world, that on the first day, we got all the serial numbers. Yes.
The EC says you should be transmitting the serial numbers.
We've got all the serial numbers. Why? Because this election, we are not going to sleep. Oh, hey, Jara. Look, this election, we will not sleep. Wallahi.
But the EC says you shouldn't transmit the serial numbers of BVDs to your party agents to be transmitted to your offices. Yet yesterday, your party chairman, Esiedun Ketia, defied the orders of the EC that these serial numbers should be transmitted to your strong room.
Because on voting day, you give serial numbers of voting machines.
Okay.
If you give serial numbers of voting machines, what is it that you don't want to give serial numbers of registration machines? So the EC, this time, it will be a different ball game. We will force them to play nonsense. And they shouldn't think that we are just going to sit down and allow them to do the bidding of the government. This EC is an extension of the MPP. This EC is an extension of the MPP. And so what we are doing is to safeguard our democratic process to ensure that an arbiter who has descended into the arena of the game and also taken part in playing the game will not be the one to choose our president for it. I'm sorry, Mr. President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the people of this country will determine who the next president is. It's not your wish. You have an octogenarian president telling the people of this country, making comments that suggest that he is not interested in the democratic process and that it is only his party that he will hand over to. Is that supposed to come from a president? Somebody who we are told have been nurtured for the past 40 years before he became president.
Okay. All right. Now, let me get some insights before I go to Lawyer Jantua. Let's get those insights.
You live in a bar, and I bet more we need 2024 elections. Yeah, mama, that opportunity. You remember these volunteers said you are going to change a chance. Sir, the copy Supreme Court. More, Namose Abano, easy, we are mamma. And I'm the easy MPP. I'm the easy court na MPP, so you're one of the respondents. Easy, Moka Massam, we na MPP say, you're crying Nikasa. Hey, Judge, Nana, will tell you. Ti find this for no masem no mo kind for mo de na fa bu asem na maye ye di fo abuefo and when this for mu ye kum hey na benya so no bi enya asem na makọ piapan anim wo de makọ wo kwa ya wo kan asem na me de me ni hwe ka fa wono ne nsem no waka na bu amefo fa bu asem sim di fo de ka ina e kire adwe kakra na e kamonti enche the screen beto ye the number na beto screen so ma na ya wasene messages no e dia ba why na ya kenkan na ye hwe emre kakra kai ene na wotwe ni pepepe sabri ya na ngotwe aboy die na enim se emrahye bedwafo ni bi kra de omudo omohu no kra because ade na yesi ye nto ba ni 5 pm hwe be by 5:30 die e bia by 6 kojo die na ya to we start counting counting 2 hours sabri MPB obose MPB so are hot because the air I don't know but na ya bato e mun sem ne de mo amukom no so mu hu nti we nya de bia se bo mu hu because mo te ase ne mo presidential ho no ho na ya na attention no because ubedi o man in 4 years enye easy o na eno so na electoral commission amai aboya no ho ba say within 48 hours there no more me hu ye president and 24 mpo 24 mpo na so mo me hu ye president ye hwe say eno so ebeko na mum ye pese hwe say oh my God, I am ready for 14 days to elections. I already say ye beto about say ye hwe say
now at the end of this program, you have also Dr. Apiahene also introduced as speaking for the MPP in this discussion. Now, so then I ask Lawyer Jantua, are some of these actions let's say, having a known member of the MPP appointed as a member of the EC, leading to distracts in relation to the current concerns that are being raised not only by the NDC but also the parties and then also civil society regarding this registration?
Good morning to our viewers and good morning to my fellow friends on the panel. Roland, isn't it sad?
What is sad?
When you hear how AB is talking, and you hear how Saka is talking, and you look at the entire fabric of EC and political parties, the kind of uneasiness, isn't it sad? The Electoral Commission is supposed to be a body that supervises elections, and in supervising elections, there has to be consensus between political parties in the Electoral Commission. But it doesn't seem so. And for me, the seeds of mistrust were sown on the day the chair of the Electoral Commission gave 5 different results for presidential.
You mean in 2020?
Yes. The seeds of mistrust were sown there. So political parties do not trust the Electoral Commission. And it is sad because every time you feel there is something behind that they are doing that we don't know. When these BRVs and BVDs and BRDs got missing, what would have been the right thing to do? Call an emergency meeting with political parties and announce to them, this is what we have discovered, and this is what we are doing towards working it through. But it took an individual to indicate it before the Electoral Commission came to say anything. And I think that is wrong. I think that doesn't help. The Electoral Commission is an institution that can bring chaos to this country.
How?
Because of it. Because of elections.
Because of these actions?
Yes. I mean, you've got to show transparency. You've got to show trust. You've got to show confidence as an Electoral Commission. Can we say we have all these attributes in the Electoral Commission today? But you know, if we knew that we wanted to go the way we are going in terms of using electronic media, why hasn't this government done anything about the fiber backbone of this country? We've installed, I think it's the western side. The eastern side is not installed. So we don't have a strong backbone. So we tend to also use the telcos. How does that help us? If we want to go down this line, especially with our elections, we should know that we must have strong internet to be able to do some of the things we want to do. But this government hasn't invested 1 penny in the fiber backbone as we sit today. But tell me what they have done.
But we have digitalization that has been spearheaded by the...
I said the fiber backbone hasn't been added to.
When you say added to,
all this digitalization of
after
this
when?
depends on the fiber backbone. You have a strong fiber backbone.
Looking at the fiber optic infrastructure that was put together.
Yes.
87% of the
whatever the case is.
What do you mean
we don't seem to have a complete
Saka, stop being disruptive.
Listen, we don't seem to have a complete
Please, I
fiber...
respect you a lot. Stop being disruptive.
I'm not.
Okay.
We don't seem to have a strong fiber backbone throughout the country. Now, the Electoral Commission has confirmed to us that there's doomsday. Haven't they? Didn't the Electoral Commission say yesterday?
Yeah.
So they've confirmed.
They've confirmed
that there is doomsday.
As a result of that, they said
exactly
they need to procure gensets, which of course we've gone to the areas and they don't have gensets.
But gensets tend to be used in areas where there's lack of electricity in the elections. So why haven't they got that ready? But you see, this kind of registration, for me, I think it's unwarranted. Why? We should have continuous registration throughout the year. Isn't that possible? It is. Isn't that possible? So anybody who reaches a certain age just goes and registers. Anybody who reaches a certain age goes and registers. We won't be going through these challenges because definitely some people will be disenfranchised considering the quantum of time that has been given for this thing to go on. And is that good? You're saying we don't have the wherewithal to continuously register? I find it difficult. But I will go back to the Constitution, and I'll go back to the fact that AB was talking about the trust element, the confidence element, the transparency element, and I add the consensus element. To have all these, the nomination of the Electoral Commission should not be by the president. Should not be.
You think that's at the heart of this problem?
It is at the heart because it's a trust issue.
Well, we have Dr. Piahini, etc.
It is a trust issue. Anybody who wants to lead an institution like Electoral Commission should go through the Public Services Commission, should bring their CV, and they should be interviewed. Why we think that person would be a good chair of the Electoral Commission? It shouldn't be nominated by the president. Because you see, in this country, the president, once he is voted in, becomes a god. Becomes a god. Everybody seems to be scared of the president. So they don't want to do anything that will ruffle the president. Everything is the president. But it's the people who put the president there. And the president is supposed to be, serve the people. Look at SML today. What's the president telling us? He says he's not going to release it, whether we like it or not. Is that document his? The document is for Ghanaians, and Ghanaians need to know what is in that document that you won't release it. So a president who then becomes a dictator in a democracy makes it difficult for the institutions to do what they have to do. And G. Mensah will work to the dictates of the president. She would want to please him. Who put her there? Isn't he the president?
But they're supposed to act independently.
Are they? Are they acting independently? Some of the things that they do, they should work with IPAC. As I said, when these machines got missing, they should have called IPAC. They should have called an IPAC meeting. Political parties, this is what has happened. We are working on it. We are doing this, we are doing this. This is what we found out. Did they tell political parties? Didn't the political parties find out themselves? So if political parties found out, where's the trust? You must have the trust, you must have the confidence to know that the Electoral Commission you've got will do the right thing. At this particular moment, people don't trust. And when the president gives comments that he wants to hand over to his own, what would people think? Even if that intention isn't there, there's a perception that it has some kind of reflection on the Electoral Commission. And you find that because the Electoral Commission, look, when the NDC decided to leave IPAC, I felt the onus was on the Electoral Commission to make sure that they bring them back, no matter what. No matter what. Because they are the largest opposition party. You should have gone to the extent to convince them to come back. But was it done? It wasn't. And you've got some political parties in there who pander to some of the things that they do. So let's try as possible that with this election, if the Electoral Commission says they are not prepared to give the registration numbers of the BRVs and the BDVs or whatever they are called, then political parties should know that they should train their polling agents well. That is the only survival they will get. Train them well and make sure they understand what it means to be a polling agent. And I'm not saying train them well to go and fight at the polling station, no. Train them well to be able to identify any wrongs that will go on during the elections. This election is a hot election.
Why?
One of the hottest. The economy won. President Nonadu is no more in there. You have a vice president who is part of a ruling party today, but doesn't want to act as he's in the ruling party. You have a member of the ruling party who has gone out and is doing his own thing. It is not an easy election, and it would not be an easy election. The question of corruption is key. The question of corruption is key. And any ruling party who is in power today and hasn't been able to deal with corruption, and fingers have been pointed at some members in the parties for being corrupt, would want to cover their backs. So they'll do anything to win. And so, for me, the polling station agents are key. Sometimes you realize that the actual voting is not a problem. People go in, will vote, and there's not much problem. It only happens when results now come out and the process in which the results are relayed to the people. That's where sometimes the challenge is. But from this point on, with the kind of situations we are getting today with regards to some of these equipments not working, it goes to give that perception that things can go AWOL at the election. However, let us also state that in some areas, in some regions, this thing has gone smoothly.
Like which regions?
Oh, some of the areas even in Greater Accra, some areas in Ashanti, some of the areas in the Western region. It hasn't all been chaos.
So are you saying that there's a conspiracy?
So no, I'm not
theory
saying
that
no,
the Electoral Commission may be deciding to.
No.
Okay.
I'm saying that irrespective of the challenges that we have faced in some districts, some areas, there are certain areas where things have gone smoothly. And so let's work together. My advice to the Electoral Commission is those areas where there are challenges, let's try and work together as a body to resolve these challenges, to take that perception away that the Electoral Commission seems to be looking at one side of the political divide.
Okay.
That doesn't help anybody.
Okay. Saka, let me ask you, for example, the issue about transfer of the Electoral Commission, which seems to be at the center of many things. For example, Bright Simmons, who has been speaking on behalf of Imani, has raised critical issues about how distraction of so-called obsolete BVD machines by the Electoral Commission have been surreptitiously auctioned to companies that don't have the pedigree, the ability, not well monitored. The stakeholders, like the parties, were not told. And these biometric machines have data of voters, the same voters who will be voting in the 2024 general elections. And that also said, even as the exercise has begun, we have, for example, even though the Electoral Commission says this is no matter, an example of a number of instances where registration is undertaken. Please put it on the screen for me. Where an individual is registered, first-time voter, and you find 19 years of age, and the person has his voting center in Kaswa, that is the Ewutu Senya East or West, okay? Constituency. East, okay. Ewutu Senya East constituency. And on the same card of the Electoral Commission, which is going to ultimately, after lamination, become the voter ID card, indicate that the district of the registration point at Kaswa is Ayawaso North District. Why won't such instances, BVDs, obsolete, being sent out for distraction through an auction, and then such instances, even currently experienced in the current window of the exercise, not lead to distrust for any Electoral Commission, whether it's Ghana or anywhere in the world? Saka.
Yeah, Roland, I think that this is just a mistake. This is just a mistake. Unless
the Electoral Commission says it doesn't matter.
No,
that you can still use it to vote. That's the response of the Electoral Commission.
Whether it's an mistake or this is a mistake that can have an effect on the elections, I am saying that this is a mistake. So whatever that you are saying, I mean, this is completely mistake. And in every event, like I was telling you about the NDC turns, where men and pictures were superimposed and here and there. And then they rather even have the temerity to come and sit here and lambast the Electoral Commission. And let me tell you, My two brothers, first of all, say that there's a mistrust between the Electoral Commission and the people and the political parties. What kind of mistrust are we talking about? They talk about 5 different results. This thing was tested in the court of this land.
I've asked you a question.
I know. When they were talking about all these things, it was not part of why we were here. When they were talking about mistrust and all those things. I want to even delve there before I come to that question. I am saying that this thing went up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled, and the NDC, led by their chairman, later on came out to say that they did not even have evidence of anything. They just went there and they were even embarrassed themselves and all that. Actually, Nketia said all those things. And let me also tell you that there is no any election in this country that results are declared once. Yes. From Nigeria. I will explain to you. It will look laughable to you. And that's the reason why most of the time you people invariably, when you go there and you lose, you go to the street instead of correcting your mistakes. Number one, you remember there has never been 100% a resource that come before the declaration. Sometimes...
Saka, what are you saying?
I'm explaining myself. You say what I'm saying.
Okay,
so let me explain for the people to understand what I'm talking about. I am saying that before elections are declared, the winner is declared. The winner is declared based on certain assumptions. Like, for instance, if A, B, C constituency come and add, and it will still not add up to the winner. It will still not add up to, for the loser to get to the winner and all those things. That is one. Elections are declared based on those calls. They call the election when not all the results are in. That is, the Electoral Commission sometimes do so. And then when all those results come, then you get another figure. After everything is said and done, and then the Electoral Commission is now gazetting the results. The results that is used in declaration, in declaring the results, is not the same as when it is being used to gazette. So in that case, will you say there's a mistrust?
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. So
Saka, let me come in. Saka, let me come in. Please, no. You are making a point, and the point you are making is flawed. And
in what way is it flawed?
Please.
No, don't say please.
Please.
No, you cannot say that it is flawed. You cannot say so that it is flawed. That is your opinion.
Your argument, yes.
It is your opinion. And I'm also saying that what you are saying is a lie. And that is the reason why I still want to continue with that same point. Let me explain to them.
You have made the point.
Let me explain to them that even in some cases, results like 3-4 times still do not make any difference. For instance, in that election, Ayensionu result had not yet come at that time, and when it came, it was added. And secondly, there was the Electoral Commission itself came out to say that there were certain mistakes that were made, and they corrected those things.
All right.
But going forward,
please let me ask you a question, please. You are making a point. I asked you a question about the BVDs. You answer that. So, as an experienced journalist, I covered the 2000 election as an intern. I saw Rawlings, etc. In 2004, I was posted to Kumasi, and so I was not there when the Electoral Commissioner was declaring the presidential election results as the returning officer. And if you look at our electoral laws, the Electoral Commission chair is the returning officer for the presidential elections. In 2008, I was at the Electoral Commission office, the old one, which is now the Greater Accra, or the current office that is being there. You know, the old one. I was there. I covered live for TV3 in 2008, where we had the declaration of the presidential candidate-elect by the returning officer for the presidential election, which is the chair of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. In that declaration of that presidential candidate-elect, not all the results had come in during that declaration. So they declared only one result to declare so and so as the winner of the 2008 election, irrespective of other results from other constituencies not coming in. Because at the time, the declaration was not done on regional basis. It was done constituency by constituency to the strong room of the Electoral Commission. And I'm speaking as a witness. It is that instance has even been put in a documentary that is called the 2008 Election Documentary of Ghana. My voice and video is even in that documentary. And so I can say that for somebody who has experience and then also witnessed a declaration of the president-elect by the returning officer being the chair of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, that one result is declared irrespective of other results from other constituencies not having come in at the time that the declaration is made. This time, I was also there when first result was declared. I came back to the office, then another result was declared. That is what the contention currently is about. Saka, what are you saying?
No, you see, I can see that you are bent, because there's no time, but you are bent on, going that route.
No.
But you see, so
what you are saying is flawed.
I don't want, you see, I don't want to waste all the time that you give me on this particular thing. So let me go ahead. But I'm sure the impartial listeners understand what I mean, because I'm saying that in elections, the results that is declared, that is used in declaring the winner, is not the same results that is used in the Gazette.
That is true.
Yes. And secondly, in this particular case, the Electoral Commission actually corrected the mistake, the first mistake that they made. They corrected it.
So you agree that the Electoral Commission made a mistake?
They made them and they corrected it.
And then they made a second mistake.
Listen. There was some results that had not come, for instance, the Ayensiano ones. When it came, and then they were correcting the mistakes, it was also added there. The various political parties, had their figures, and all of them were added with it. So I don't want to go there. But you see, the NDC and their penchant of crying or screaming blue medal all the time. If BVDs are lost, why do you insist that they should give you the serial numbers of those BVDs? Oh. Are you the Electoral Commission? You see, the NDC just want to make noise. First and foremost, these are the very people who told us that, they should, their chairman, their former chairman, said they should take the Electoral Commissioner to the cleaners, that they should insult her.
Who is the former chair?
What was the name? The former chairman, you know him.
If you are lying, how will you remember somebody's name? If you are lying,
you know him. You all of you know.
You are 3 minutes.
You see, their former chairman, the one who was a chairman, I said you can tell was the general secretary.
They say his name. Mention his name.
Oh, so whatever it is, everybody knows the person that I'm talking about. He told you, he met with you and told you that go there and insult the Electoral Commission. And you see, they act like zombies. Like if a whistle is not blown, that okay, now stop. They won't stop. They won't stop insulting the Electoral Commission. They won't stop taking them to the cleaners. And that is the reason why Asiri Ketia and then all those people decided that they will not go to even the IPAC. They decided that when they even go to the IPAC, they were going to disrupt the proceedings. That's the reason why. When
you have a minute.
Oh, please. I mean, when Jim Mensah was talking at the IPAC, Asiri Ketia will be giggling, will be laughing, will be making fun of the whole thing. And it became something that everybody was worried about. And that led to the NDC deciding
So you are saying that irrespective of obsolete BVD machines, listen to me, being destroyed because they were obsolete without recourse to the stakeholders is not important and also doesn't diminish trust in the Electoral Commission.
I am saying, for the NDC and the Electoral Commission, they decided that it is not about BD. You see, they are using it as a ruse.
NDC didn't raise that.
The NDC is only using this.
Imani raised that.
I am saying the NDC did a press conference today. I was asking that they should give them the serial numbers.
Okay.
And I'm saying that all this noise that they are making, it is in furtherance of their plan that they should make the Electoral Commission look bad, look like a caricature in the eyes of the world, so that they can use that one to dispute the election.
All right. Okay.
But I'm saying that the current Electoral Commission that we have is by far better than some of the previous ones under the NDC.
Okay.
We have seen
the
Electoral Commission
is not about which Electoral Commission boss is the
No. You see, you brought a picture of a so-called MPP functionary.
No, I use it to ask a question
yes.
for him. It's
but
not
do you know that? Do you know that? At
your time is up.
At a point.
Your time is up.
Do you know? Let me finish.
Your time is up.
I know, but let me land there.
No.
Do you know that? Do you know that?
Who have wrap-up comments?
What is important?
Please, I'll give you only 4 minutes. Sorry that we had to use the time.
Sometimes it can be excruciating and debilitating to be listening to my colleague.
Why? He's making his point. He's entitled to that point.
He's there. You ask a question there, he's here. In 6s and 7s. Look, no political party has denigrated the Electoral Commission more than the MPP. At least, we did not refer to the Electoral Commissioner as a prostitute. But they refer to Charlotte Osei as a prostitute. What is more denigrating than that? These people. But you see, when
all the parties have done it,
we have not insulted anybody as a prostitute.
All of you, when you are in opposition, you criticize the Electoral Commission. That's what he's saying.
Criticism is different. But denigration, he talked about denigration. Saka will not understand that the Electoral Commissioner should rise above board. Look at this example that you have given. Kaswa and then Iowa Sunov.
Okay, let's put it so that people will know.
Look at this. Kaswa.
It's a mistake. Are you making
the Electoral Commission is justifying this to say that there's nothing wrong.
Look at this.
That's what they said.
Kaswa and Iowa Sunov. You are playing in a league of election management bodies. You are comparing yourself with other election management bodies. When we train our children here, we want them to be like the Japanese students. True or false?
Ideally.
Ideally. You want them to be like the American students, even though we are retrogressing. But if you are an electoral commissioner and you see this and your justification is that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong means what? That now Iowa Sunov is Kaswa and Kaswa is Iowa Sunov. There's nothing wrong. Can you understand the mindset of the people? But you see, the people who occupy the Electoral Commission, you see one of them who went and he was praying that machine should start working.
The
caliber of people.
The board member.
You tell anybody there.
Well, I posted it, but people said it's normal that Ghanaians will pray.
You send anybody there with their recourse to their ability to contribute to the advancement of the institution. Why is our state institution dying? Because the caliber of people you send there, mushroom people who cannot contribute to the advancement of the institution. This is what is happening. Very soon, we are going to have worse than this. And I don't blame those who have been appointed. I blame the appointor who puts party first. The appointor who is the president, who puts party first before national interest. So me, garbage in, garbage out. This is expected from the EC. But who is the cause? The cause is the president who does not put people with credibility to man the institutions. But do we have a recourse?
Please wrap up.
As a political party, yes, we have a recourse. As a political party, I've just told you that even the serial numbers, we have it. From the first day, we told our guys, and
they say you shouldn't be doing that.
Why? What is wrong?
Mr. Abraham Amale.
Let them show us the law that says that we shouldn't be doing that. They should show us the CI, which of them says that we shouldn't do that? The next thing is that we, together with the people of this country, must be vigilant on election day, because the things that we are seeing in this administration, the misgovernance affects all of us. So people of this country, don't leave the policing of the electoral process to only NDC. Also join in. On election day, when you vote, step backwards, stand under a tree and be watching the process.
You know the rules of election. You're not supposed to be around the perimeter within a certain distance as stipulated by law.
I'm saying that find a tree, a shade, and be watching the process.
In 4 minutes, your wrap-up comment on these. You seem to be in a very pensive but also sudden mood.
He's sad about what is happening.
Mediocrity can create a challenge where things that are wrong become right. And this is one of them.
The Kaswa
Yes.
Ayawaso. The Electoral Commission says.
Come on. How can Ayawaso North be Kaswa? How can Kaswa be Ayawaso North? Mistake.
I've never made a mistake in your life.
And for elections. Saka. This mistake is not acceptable.
So is that the only one?
It is not acceptable. How many of these mistakes have been made?
This is the only one.
And you are saying that, how do you know it's the only one? How do you, in this entire Ghana,
Tell me
how do you know it's the only one? And the Electoral Commission say what? It's okay. It's all right.
No, they say the person can vote.
How?
So this is what the Electoral Commission says, and it's titled on their, and they've been releasing a number of press statements since the exercise started, and I think that's commendable. At the same time, quite worrying. It also means that there's a certain crisis with the exercise. It says error in registration slip does not affect voters' eligibility. This was posted a day ago. It's on the page of the Electoral Commission on Facebook as well as other social. It said the attention of the EC has been drawn to a registration slip circulating on social media indicating the bearer of the slip registered at Kaswa in the central region. The registration slip, however, gives the bearer's district as Ayawaso North in the Greater Accra region. This error does not appear on the applicant's voter's ID card. It reflects on the registration slip, which only serves as a reference should an applicant seek to replace his or a voter ID card. So the error does not affect the eligibility of the voter.
Yeah.
It also means, that's what the Electoral Commission...
it makes sense.
So they agree to that.
I'm telling you,
they agree to this mistake. Mediocrity. They agree to this mistake. Is that what you're telling me?
They are explaining.
Please, Saka, when you were talking, I was quiet.
Saka.
When you were talking, I was quiet. A whole electoral commissioner, electoral commission, say because it doesn't affect the person voting, this is right. Is this not data? Is it not data? And if it's data, why give it to us if it's wrong? Then let's open it. And anybody can put whatever they want on the card. I'm shocked that the Electoral Commission will put this on there just because it doesn't affect somebody voting. Is the data on there that depicts who the person is and where the person's district is? Otherwise, why do we have it? Why do you have a voting card? And Saka is saying what? Oh, because it's a mistake, it's okay. Mistake, unfortunately, my fault. This mistake should stop. It's not helping us. We want credible data. And that is what we expect from our electoral commissioner. Credible data. This isn't credible. Amen.
Roland, look at this. There are two Ahini man. He's with Baumia campaigning. Look at him.
Oh,
there are two Ahini man. Look at him.
I mean.
There are two Ahini man. The man they sent to the EC, he has joined Baumia campaign.
It is not true.
Look at him.
Bring it.
Look at him. Don't touch my phone. Look at it.
I don't want to touch it. It's full of virus.
You want to watch it?
Don't touch it. You shouldn't touch my phone.
It's full of virus. I don't want to touch it.
Okay.
Look at Ahini.
In the Bono region.
In the Bono region. Campaigning with Dr. Baumia.
Are you sure he is the person?
He's the one. He's the one. When we say these things, when we say these things,
so let me read.
Huh?
Let me read.
Roland.
Yeah, you please make your just a minute. Make a comment in a minute. In 1 minute.
First of all, I mean, we all know. I mean, the Electoral Commission themselves have agreed that this is an error, but they are saying that even though
it is not an acceptable error.
Oh, wait.
if the shoe on the other
word
foot,
error is
listen,
used.
listen. If you were in the opposition party
but you see,
and this one was done, you be the one who will be complaining.
Once the word error is made, it means that it is not acceptable. But they are saying
but
that
Saka,
even though not acceptable,
how can you admit?
Because it's just
how can a wrong be acceptable?
I've known you.
How can a wrong be acceptable?
I've not known you in the last 7 years.
Yes.
I've known you pre-2017.
Yeah, I know.
You understand? I can even go to YouTube and bring out videos.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm saying that I'm saying that if you admit something is a mistake, how then something in error becomes right to be used in undertaking an action which should be legal?
No. What the
you are a law student.
No, I know. Listen.
Nana Ya Jantwa. No, please, Saka, please.
Okay, it's okay.
Nana Ya Jantwa. Thank you, Nana Ya, for sending me this mail. He says, Roland, Saka's argument makes me cringe and I'm worried. Saka's arguments are not tenable at all. I'm surprised he's a law student. Well, indeed he is. Let's accord him that respect. Roland, in other jurisdiction, if there's a hint of a mistake in the final collation for the final result, the elections will be annulled. In 2020, the results were called 5 times. Certainly, it does not make it credible. Saka, no doubt, has the DNA of the stubborn elephant. Greetings to your panelists. Nani Ajantwa is a regular on the show. Helga Bwedi says, Roland, do you think Saka understands what you are saying? He doesn't. I think he does. I think he's just communicating what he has to communicate. It is possible that the guy on election day will be told his name is in Ayawaso North. So this is a way to disenfranchise the guy. And that is being sent to me by Fusera. Fusera also sending me this. He says, good morning, Chief. Abdul Samid, I think your comment is in bad taste, so I will not read it. But I acknowledge your comment. Thank you for sending me. BT Sly says, BT Sly, Nadole Kalio. In Nadole Kalio, we had to find accommodation for more than 50 students to sleep yesterday because there was doomsaw and network challenges. This comes at double cost for us. Madam Jim Mensah should know that what he's doing is killing our democracy. Are you from the Upper West region?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. All right. I have this one from Osei Bunsu from Inshaeso in Kumasi. He says, we have to give credit to the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration for the way they've handled the Electoral Commission. All budgets that they want is approved. So we shouldn't be blaming government for an action by an independent body. In all the same, we need to make sure that we are tolerant of all opposing views. I think the government is doing well. Good morning to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the incoming president. I read that one or seven. So, Alhaji Hamza Pig Farm says, I'm sad listening to Saka this morning. What is he talking about? He should stop insulting the intelligence.
What is his point? What is his point?
Please send me messages, Saka. Now let me say good morning to Nee Brown. Nee Brown sends me this message. Nee Brown says, BVDs are missing at EC and Ghanaians are quiet and watching. When this hits the fan, nobody should say anything. It can bring chaos and we're all looking on. He also sends me a picture of, he says EC Director of IT spotted actively in Bonafo with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign. Let me also say good morning to Dr. Carl Domenyo of North Carolina, Charlotte. And also, okay, so let me read this one from Chief Mante. Why is Saka defending the Electoral Commission? This is the reason why some Ghanaians are inclined to believe that the MPP is in bed with the EC. I have to say that Chief Mante, he's also entitled to his views as well. I've had many other comments as well, coming from Dr. Segbefia as well as Dr. Impuni, also sending me messages for all of you. But thank you very much for coming this morning. Saka?
Yeah.
And then Kwame Jantwa.
One more comment.
And then also Abraham Maliba. What comment did you want to make, Lawyer Kwame Jantwa?
The comment I want to make is that why don't we wait for all the results to come in before we now announce the results of presidential? Why should we wait? Can't we wait for the results to come in? Because it creates problems.
The CI has a period within which it should declare. Yeah, I think 72 hours.
Let's adjust it. So, because it brings wahala.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We have cash out. It goes with a short code *439#, and you choose option 2. And we have a conversation on Mother's Day coming up, certainly. And Cookie, Bella, Nashako, they're all involved, talking to some mothers, young mothers, their aspirations as well. But Mother's Day is right here. We have a special promo, and it's from the 5th to the 31st of May 2024 at only 910 Ghana cedis. So celebrate your Mother's Day in style with a luxurious getaway at Maha Beach Resort. Treat your mom to an unforgettable experience with Maha Beach Resort's special Mother's Day package. And the package include dreamy room setups, breakfast, lunch, and dinner with free local drinks, 50% discount on spa, family movies, all available at the Asina Cinema. And when you get there, free popcorns available, free access to all in-house facilities and activities as well. There's also going to be free pickups from the airports. Remember, it's going to be from Friday to Sunday for the pickups. Terms and conditions applying. Book now and let Maha Beach Resort make your Mother's Day a memorable one for the special woman in your life. Just in case you want to do the bookings and reservations, please contact them on the number 050-157-0684 or 030-3977-773 for more reservation and details. Upgrade of rooms are also available at request, and of course comes with some terms and conditions. The offer is available only when you book directly with a hotel. 100% non-refundable payment is required to confirm the reservation. And then also the offer is bookable from now to the 31st of May 2024. Remember, we also have a Mother's Day promo. 3FM as well as TV3 Dining with Mom, taking place this Sunday from 1 p.m. at the Tomrick Hotel, certainly. Now, we have So we have hundreds of squatters and traders evicted from the utilities corridor on the N1 highway by the Ablekuma North Municipality. And you can see them, squatters on the N1 highway. The demolition has taken place and the authorities at the Ablekuma North Municipality, they undertook the eviction. It also means that a lot of people won't have a place to sleep today.
See, this is
and
forced eviction.
This forced eviction under the law? Is that what you're saying?
The United Nations prohibits forced eviction. You must provide an alternative. People do not go into these areas voluntarily. Me, I live in a splash place. I will never voluntarily just carry my bag and say I want to go and sleep at that place. So they too, if they had where I live, they wouldn't have come there. So governments should be very humanitarian in nature. This is not good.
If we can build a Piatti the speed with which we used to build it, we should be able to build houses for Ghanaians.
And this is what you should have used the money for. You use money to dig a cathedral. To dig a cathedral.
That is not what I'm saying.
And
I said the speed.
Don't deserve what they want.
So this is a breaking news we have.
It's not good. They should use it to
we have the breaking
houses
news
for Ghanaians.
We have the breaking news. N1 demolition that has taken place. Hundreds of squatters and traders evicted from the utilities corridor on the N1 highway by the Ablekuma North Municipality. And currently we're bringing to you these pictures live. And
if it rains right now, what is going to happen to them?
So that's what we'll bring you comprehensively more of this when we're having the comprehensive bulletin on News Central, and certainly you can trust us not only for breaking news up to the minute update. Go to 3news.com as well as our handles on TV3 Ghana. Get the latest as it is. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.